Everyone, it's Kerry Jeffrey from Emotional Autoimmunity here. I actually did do a live about 30 minutes ago and on another platform, and unfortunately it did not work, or it didn't seem to load. So now I'm going to do it again. So what I've been doing in my lifetime, I have been working my way through my Moving Through the Grief of Chronic Illness ebook. It is a 9-phase model that gives you all of the emotional responses and experiences that you can have from pre-diagnosis of chronic illness all the way up to acceptance and back again. And this is not a linear model like all grief model is not linear, so it doesn't mean you just move through it from step to step to step to step. Some people miss some steps completely, some people get stuck. And then if something new happens, like you get a new diagnosis or something like that, you can always go back to the previous steps. So if you are watching, if you could maybe add a heart or say hi or let me know where you are watching from, it will help me feel better because I won't feel like I'm talking to myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through this phase first, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it and why it's important and some of the common issues and where you can get stuck. And if you've got any questions or anything like that, then please feel free to ask them. Hopefully I can see this. The Facebook Live has changed, and so it looks very different now on my computer. So I'm not sure how the comments are going to show up for me, but hey, put a heart, say hi, let me know that you're watching, maybe where you're watching from. So let me have a little sip on my tea. Got a bit of a sore throat. I hope you guys are all going well through the lockdown, and everybody in the house is getting along and you're not getting on each other's nerves too much. All right, so here we go. So phase 4, anger, blame and guilt. When something bad happens to us, when tragedy strikes, it is human nature to want to find a reason and something or someone to blame for it. When it comes to chronic illness, the difficulty is that the reasons for why certain types of illnesses develop are still unknown, with many potential contributing factors, including genetics, environment, diet, chemical or toxin exposure, past trauma, or being triggered by infection or virus. Doctors who fail to listen to symptoms, not order more in-depth tests, or not interpret the tests correctly, further contribute to the problems as the disease continues to worsen and the symptoms become more debilitating. Having no real answers, support, or understanding from the medical profession who you previously relied on to help make you well can feel like a betrayal as you are left to struggle alone. Living with the knowledge that you have a lifelong, incurable condition with no real idea how much recovery will be possible for you and what your future will bring can have you questioning your faith, your own ability, your purpose, and your life. You can feel angry at your partner, children, friends, and family for not understanding what you are going through, or feel that they are blaming you for being unreliable, lazy, or using your illness as an excuse, or feel disappointed or betrayed that they are not stepping up and helping you manage. When there is no external reason found for what is happening to you, the anger often turns inward to self-blame, and the obvious target for the blame is your body. Your body is seen as the enemy and the betrayer, the thing that is ruining your life and your happiness, that is refusing to get well or give you energy, or that is causing you pain. Your body lets you down constantly, making it difficult to be who you were before. The person who used to have energy and drive and motivation, the person who could get through the day without needing to take a nap, the person who could be an active parent, partner, friend, and employee. Your body and its inability to cooperate is stopping you from working and earning an income, being the kind of parent that you want to be, or harming your relationship with your partner. Constantly feeling tired, brain fogged, in pain, and unable to function properly leads to more frustration, anger, and disappointment, and it feels like your body is to blame for it all. In many cases, weight gain or loss, skin changes, hair loss, disability, or other physical changes can make you look like a completely different person than you were before, which can make you resent your body even more and start to feel guilty about how much you have changed. Guilt makes you feel that your illness and any disability or limitations you're experiencing are hurting and letting down the people you love. You can begin to feel like a burden to your partner, family, or friends, to the point where you may feel like you need to offer them an out from the relationship, or worry that they are standing by you from pity or loyalty rather than love. Guilt makes you believe that you are harming your children by having them see a parent who is constantly sick and unable to play or be with them the way you used to be. Guilt makes you worry that you are being judged by your inability to work as hard as you could, or complete your share of housework or exercise like you used to before. Guilt stops you from setting boundaries with difficult or toxic people, stops you from saying no to requests that drain your time and energy, and stops you from asking for help in case you are seen as being weak or not good enough. Guilt makes you feel that you are not doing enough, that you are making a big deal about nothing, that other people could get on with their lives with chronic illness except for you. The guilt fuels the anger, and the anger feeds the guilt in an ongoing cycle that further adds to the stress and inflammation experienced in your body. All of the guilt and anger creates the feelings of helplessness and injustice at what your life has become, at what can often feel like a complete loss of identity and independence, which then turns into grief. Getting stuck in anger, blame, and guilt can lead to bitterness and steal all of the potential joy and satisfaction away from your life. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for watching and thanks for your comment. So let's talk a little bit about this phase. So, as I said, when something bad happens to you, we are looking for some reason why. Like, we need to make sense of it, because if we can make sense of it, then it feels like we can begin to move into some sort of acceptance and get on with it, right? Get on with things when we know why something happens. Uncertainty is one of the biggest difficulties to deal with, and that's why in a lot of relationship breakups, when you're not given a clear and specific reason as to why, then that is the thing that causes the most issue for you, that just not knowing why, not having a reason. So all of that stuff about chronic illness, like it's all this stuff up here because we don't really know why it's been happening. And the reason why it's been happening could go back decades. Like, it can feel like chronic illness has been part of your life for a very short time, and it can feel like it happened overnight. But a lot of the time, it's actually been with you for decades. You just have adapted very gradually and slowly to it, so you don't realize that that is what has been going on. So guilt is actually supposed to be a signal, just a signal to say, hey, you're out of alignment with your own moral and ethical compass. That's the reason for guilt. It's just a signal. Now, what happens often with chronic illness is it becomes more than just guilt, because as I said, guilt is just a signal that says, hey, you don't feel good about what you just did. Like, that doesn't gel with who you are as a person. So guilt becomes toxic guilt, which means that you start feeling guilty for a whole lot of things that actually have nothing to do with you. And that guilt then turns into toxic shame. So you feel ashamed of being so sick. You feel ashamed of the impact that this is having on the people in your life. You feel ashamed about the damage that you believe you are causing to your family or your children or your husband or your friends. And this toxic shame and guilt becomes absolutely crippling. You become more isolated. You feel so bad about yourself. You feel like a burden. And when you start feeling like a burden, that is a horrible place to be. And that is generally where so many of my clients decide to pick up that free discovery session and then decide to come in and work with me, because they start to understand the damage that that's doing, because that's certainly no way to live. So the other issue is that so many of us get angry with our bodies, and we seem to believe that our bodies are deliberately, like with malice, trying to do this to us, to ruin the things we're looking forward to ruin our lives. And that just sets you at odds with your body, when the reality is very different. The reality is that this is something that happened to your body way before you were consciously aware of it. And your body has been doing its utmost to manage and try to stop the damage and the autoimmune attacks that have been affecting you, to the point where the attack from the autoimmune system and the attack of the disease became so overwhelming that your body could no longer do anything to balance it, or keep it from affecting you the way that it had been. And that's normally when you'd be heading to the doctor and asking about, talking about the symptoms or things that you're experiencing. So this anger and blame and guilt is one of the biggest places where people get stuck. So it's a difficult phase. Like I said, you can always book your free discovery session with me to talk about it. It is not a sales call. It's basically giving you an opportunity that you don't get when you are looking for therapy, because in the majority of cases, the only way you get to meet this potential new therapist is you've got to pay for an hour of their time and then meet them. So I'm giving you my time for nothing. You book it, it's all online using Zoom. It's a video conferencing call. You book that in, and we meet up and we have a chat. I don't want an answer from you at the time. You can, I'll give you all the information about which program I think will give you the best results. I'll give you all the information about the prices in Australian dollars and the payment options. At the end of the session, I'll email that to you. You take however long you think. Some people take a week, some people take a month, some people take 6 months. I've even had people come back to me after a year and decide they want to work with me. Once I email you, that's it. I don't follow up. I don't send you any more information. I just wish you well. So if you want your own copy of this is all you need to do. It is very simple. Head over to my website, emotionalautoimmunity.com. There are various ways you can sign up to get your copy of this by becoming a VIP subscriber to my email list. So there is a pop-up. There is a big box on the middle of the homepage. There is a sign-up box at the bottom of each page. What you do is put your name and your email address in, push the button, and then you will be sent a confirmation email. And this is where so many people go wrong. I get emails from people saying, I signed up for your list and I haven't got the ebook. It's because you didn't answer the confirmation email. Check in your junk folder or your spam folder. Find the confirmation email. You must do this step. There's nothing I can do about it. This is what the email provider service does. It's a requirement. You confirm that, yes, you do want to be on my list. And once you do that, you will be sent a confirmation email with the link, and you can download this. It is really good to give to your partner to read, because they will get an idea of just how life-changing this is for you, and all the different phases, and why you are going to be feeling the way that you're feeling. So it can help them understand and support you. So if you've got any questions, if you're watching this in the replay, hopefully I'll be able to download this and add it to my YouTube channel. Just ask me. Be aware that I can't answer complex individual things. That's much better served in a discovery session where we can talk about that. So yeah, this is, as I said, this is my second video. I hope this works. I'm going to go on and get on with my Friday morning. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. And hopefully I will be back next week with the next phase of my model. Bye.